The aliens and UFOs, interstellar objects that are now beaming lights are coming. Are you ready?
Where do you think the contact with the aliens came from? When did that start?
You know, I'm not going to get into it.
I need to hear about aliens.
I know you already know all this show.
Hold on a second.
It's always...
But I want to ask you this because I don't know.
Oh, yeah, right. We're in contact with aliens.
We are! And it only gets crazier and more freakier as recently Sam Tripoli was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and I think he brilliantly expressed what I've been talking about for a very long time in a far more articulate way than I can. We're going to be playing that Joe Rogan clip here, as well as talking about the latest mystery interstellar object that is now beaming lights, as we have a Harvard professor talking about how this is an alien probe coming. Hide your holes. Some people might be a little bit too excited for this and might be getting ahead of themselves here, as the news truly is just absolutely wild, especially when it comes to this particular topic. There's a lot of disinformation. A lot of people are talking about Project Bluebeam. A lot of people are talking about the kind of biblical prophecies and relation to all of this and to the Nephilim. And we're going to be talking about it with these latest comments from Sam Tripoli, which I thought were brilliant. Sam Tripoli, by the way, talked about a lot of stuff that was true. I think he's a very smart man. And we're going to continue talking about this in relation to the drone scandal that, by the way, still hasn't been figured out here, as the Trump administration lied to us. And we still haven't gotten the truth, as Donald Trump just contradicted himself a few days ago, specifically when it comes to these weird kind of drone incursions that we still do not have any answers to, as the governor of New Jersey is even coming out. We still have no clue what in the world was going on here. I think I do. And if you appreciate our type of honest dialogue deep down the rabbit hole with these particular topics, subscribe. Click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that you spend with us on this particular channel. This, as the New York Post today is reporting, that the Manhattan-sized interstellar object that made it into our solar system, that will be coming our way and getting very close to Earth, that, by the way, will be swinging around the sun so we can't see it coming. As one Harvard professor said, I think this is going to be an alien type of object that will be testing and sniffing out our life form. I hope we get our ish together and stop bombing ourselves before that happens. So the different potential smarter intelligence that is far more technologically advanced than us doesn't see us as just these type of monsters that like to blow each other up. I hope the war in the Middle East ends. It probably won't. It'll probably kick off around that time, as now scientists are saying that it will be here around November or December of this year. This type of interstellar object that made it into our solar system that will be making its way around the sun and then getting very close to the Earth, where now scientists are hypothetically talking about it releasing an object, it testing us, it scanning us, and some people are saying it's just a comet. Now we're hearing that this comet is, quote, emitting its own light, as Anna Paulina Luna, congresswoman, has specifically sent out a notice telling scientists, hey, keep an extra eye on this. Let's all the surveillance type of testing and sniffers and photograph technology that we have in outer space allegedly, let's keep an extra eye on this thing. As now we are getting the news that it actually might be glowing, as an astronomer is now suggesting that this new interstellar object could be advanced alien testing of our intelligence. Quote, did we fail the test? Listen, as humanity, we could be doing a lot of things better, okay? We could be actually holding predators against our children accountable. You know, the Epstein client list. You know, it's a topic of discussion. Beborp comes down. It's like, wait, you guys allow powerful people to do what to your children? What? Huh? Wait, you guys are blowing each other up because you guys want more taxes from local population? Wait, you guys aren't sharing, building, and growing and having economic commerce that allows all of us to prosper, but you guys are fighting over these resources, destroying each other, and then you guys are under a Federal Reserve banking system? How backwards are you guys? Yeah, we got to enslave you. As this is the latest from the New York Post here, as they're talking about its own light. As interstellar object 31-Atlas is zooming through our inner solar system, as now it appears to be emitting its own light, according to the Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loebob. Now, Avi Loebob has been criticized before for being a little bit out there. Let's just be honest with ourselves. And a lot of people are saying, no, it's just a comet. This guy's being sensational. But he's pretty serious. And that's why there's a lot of very interesting news articles surrounding his observations, his theories. And there are theories. They haven't been verified here. But it looks like the scientific community is taking a lot of his kind of observations seriously, and they are further investigating this. As now, observations by Loebob, if verified, could contradict NASA's classification of the Manhattan-sized object as a comet, as the scientist argues in a new blog post. As Loebob and a colleague analyzed photos released by NASA of the object in determining the source of its glow, likely not from the sun. The astrophysicist wrote, the brightness profile around 31-Atlas implies that the nucleus dominates the observed light. The simplest interpretation is that the nucleus of 31-Atlas produces most of the light, he wrote in the paper published this Sunday. The level of light observed by 31-Atlas could be achieved from a source of diameter smaller than 100 meters, according to Loebob. The shift is understanding the light source would also mean that 31-Atlas is much smaller than initially thought, and more comparable in size to the two other known interstellar objects, Umne and Borisov, probably named after the people who observed them and found them in our solar system. Now, the way that this thing is moving is one of the reasons why Loebob thinks that this is going to be a potential alien incursion. Now, before talking about this and before going into Sam Tripoli's kind of explanation about fallen angels, biblical prophecies, the Nephilim, we wanted to tell you about We Are Change.shop. We got a lot of great supplements, including creatine. And I love creatine. It's one of my supplements that I absolutely love and enjoy and have been receiving personally a lot of benefits from. We get it from Germany. We get it from the cleanest, best sources out there. 99.99% pure.
Creatine, when you look at it as a supplement, it's more important for women than men. So women have 70 to 80% less tissue stores of creatine than men do. Creatine is something that is going to help us work out harder, recover faster, can help with muscle, can help with bone density, can help with our mood. In fact, they did a study on postmenopausal women, and they found that when they gave them creatine, it was more effective than just giving them like an antidepressant alone. So it helps with cognition, it helps with depression, it helps with skin wrinkling. What?
Yeah, you got a woman that's moody? Hey, might want to take a look at that creatine. As of course, I just randomly found this video on Instagram. It was just shown to me by a Health, Fitness, and Goals channel. And I'm like, oh, wow, they really are pitching creatine here in a very kind of interesting way. And I'm like, okay, let's just play this clip, as I have some really good creatine available to you. 2-month supply, $53. I can't recommend it enough. Get it, support yourself, and support your own independent health journey before taking anything into your own body. Do your own research, do your own homework, and I can't recommend taking care of your health enough. Especially, listen, the BBORP aliens come. We're involved in 2025 UFO drone war, which is expected, with this interstellar object to be joining us later this year, as we still don't have any kind of legitimate answers to what was going on over in New Jersey last year around that same period of time. Interesting coincidence there. As of course, if you remember, there was a bunch of drones, and they were making very kind of weird maneuvers. They were told that Donald Trump says, oh, no, they're FAA drones. And I was like, wait, red flag, red flag. This is the beginning of his administration. I was like, I don't think he's telling the truth here. He wasn't. Donald Trump contradicted himself. Being like, well, we still don't know here a couple days ago. And like, I don't know. New Jersey government, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. We still don't have answers to all the crazy drone incursions, as there were reports from mayors and police officers being like, these drones go in and out of water. Like it's nothing. They defy the laws of physics. Like it's nothing. What's going on here? Trump was like, I'll give you the answers. And then Caroline Leavitt was like, oh, it was FAA drones. Even though during the time of these New Jersey drones, around November, December, the FAA was like, we don't know what's going on here. But now allegedly they did the whole time. And we still haven't gotten any legitimate answers. And Donald Trump just contradicted himself. And this was during the beginning of his presidency, where a lot of people were kind of allergic to criticizing him. Temperature in the room has changed a little bit. And it's not even about criticizing him. It's about just being honest. Like, hey, we're being told that this was FAA drones. That story doesn't add up here. Trump was like, yeah. As soon as he sat in the Oval Office, he's like, I'll give you the answers. Caroline Leavitt then gave the answers a couple days afterwards and then explained what I saw as a cover-up, and I called out as a cover-up. A lot of people were afraid to even say that. I wasn't, which is a little bit ridiculous here. Now, this object, and now it's emitting light, potentially being smaller here, some people are saying this could be a natural nuclear source that could be a rare fragment from the core of a nearby supernova that is rich, quote, in radioactive material. The possibility is, quote, highly unlikely given the scarce reservoir of radioactive elements in the interstellar space, Lobub writes. Alternatively, 31-Atlas could be a spacecraft powered by nuclear energy, and the dust emitted from its frontal surface might be from dirt that accumulated on its surface from its interstellar travel, Lobub conjectured, adding, this cannot be ruled out, but required better evidence to be viable. Now, NASA, from the recommendations from Anna Paulina Luna, who talked about interdimensional beings, who talked about aliens, UFOs, and creatures that are not human with advanced tech, and she openly just talked about it. Now said, hey, NASA, can you please keep an extra eye on this? And they are. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of happens here, how it maintains here, as NASA has now maintained that still, this is just a comet. Is it just a comet? I don't know. I think it coming around the sun the specific weird way that it does, it now being reported to be emitting light here, now leads us towards this kind of weird type of scenario that a lot of alien UFO enthusiasts are more happier than ever about. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, they're just releasing this stuff in order to distract you from aliens. And that was the kind of initial criticisms of this Anna Paulina Joe Rogan podcast episode. Now Sam Tripoli goes on and he added more context to this, specifically talking about the 13 families that made deals with fallen angels and about the real kind of power structure of the Nephilim and the interdimensional beings, as Tucker Carlson even came out and said when I was on stage with him at the TPUSA event, at the Timcast podcast show, that interdimensional beings do have some sort of agreement and do meet and talk with high-level forms of the government. Here's what Sam Tripoli had to say.
You just have that one politician on talking about
Rick Perry.
the book of Enoch, the woman.
Oh, yeah, Anna Paulina Luna. Yeah.
Well, it's like that's a super, you bring up Gnosticism, Christians get really upset. I don't know what the answer is. I'm a spiritual man. It's like one God, Jesus is.
And this is the kind of religious prophecy of the fallen angels and this kind of interpretation of the Nephilim.
My savior, that's what I'm into right now. Makes me happy and it vibrate on a higher level. But if you study Gnosticism, the whole story of the demiurge is very interesting. That's where fallen angels mating with the daughters of men come from. And that's where the original feminist was. The first ever feminist was Sophia, who was the feminine energy of the universe. And literally, she was like, I don't need a man, right? She literally said, like, I don't need a man. And she creates life. And she instantly knows she made a mistake, which sounds like every single mother to me, right? So she creates
True story.
It's the demiurge, and the demiurge doesn't understand about the higher table of gods, and he thinks he is God. And a lot of people believe the first God of the Testament is the demiurge.
Oh, okay.
And his whole thing is about just basically he wants to destroy humanity. That's kind of what everyone talks about in Satan. But Sophia gave us the spark of life. She gives us a spark.
Wouldn't you want to know, go back to the time where they were writing the Bhagavad Gita?
I would love that.
And go, what do you know?
Yeah.
How are you writing
I think
this?
about that all
What's
the time.
a Vimana?
Yeah.
Like, what are these flying crafts you're talking about?
Yes, dude.
As now people are saying those flying crafts are the same drones from the interdimensional beings that are coming from the surface of the earth and the oceans that are defying the laws of physics that we still don't have any kind of legitimate answers on, that Donald Trump even hinted at, talked about how he contradicted himself with the official version of events of what actually happened here.
In the Vedic texts.
And you, so you talk about fallen angels. A lot of people think that's Christian mumbo jumbo. I don't believe it is at all, because the Vedics talk about it and the Hindus talk about it, about God trapping entities in this realm that we live in. So I think the Vedics were 4, the Hindus I think are 2 or 3, and then we have the 33%, which is the fallen angels. And then they
33 occult number, with a lot of secret societies using that number for their own type of hierarchy.
they come down, they get trapped here, and that's the whole thing about transhumanism, is that they're trying to figure out how to get out of here. Technology beyond what we understood and what we know now. And they,
Now, could that be propelled with artificial intelligence as well, as that could bring us towards their type of tech, which could bring us closer to them kind of coming here and be like, oh, crap, you guys are about to be smarter than us. You guys are about to be just as smart as we are, if not smarter, with the propelling of this kind of new god that you're creating, which is artificial intelligence, which could bring on this kind of alien interdimensional UFO life form that's like, okay, hold on. We're going to be on the same level now. You're going to be just as smart as we are. You reach this type of new sentient type of intelligence life form. We got to go make contact with you. That's the theory that's going on now.
they wipe that all out.
Why would they do that? Do you think they wipe it all out, or do they think they hide it in secrecy?
Well, they probably still have it, but they don't want us to have it.
Like, what do you think happened with all of Tesla's notes?
Now, they don't, quote, they don't want us to have it. Now, some people argue we're on the precipice of huge technological evolution to the point where there's going to be entities that are going to be artificial intelligence that are going to be way smarter than all of humanity. Some people argue that that will wipe out all of humanity and destroy all of humanity and create this kind of new singularity transhumanist movement where there's only a few select gods, not even. I think they're going to be also spared too, but this is their kind of vision. We're going to create this AI god and this AI smart human intelligence, and then we're going to live forever. All the peasants we're going to take out. Some people argue that the peasants and the regular people are already being taken out, and you could see that with the population numbers.
When he died.
Now, are the aliens intervening? Are the interdimensional beings intervening because they need us in this kind of symbiotic type of relationship, and they understand, holy cow, we're at an event where we're going to see the end of humanity. We can't see that, as there are now multiple stories of many high-ranking military officers and officials saying aliens stopped us from self-destroying ourselves. Are the aliens coming now and showing themselves because we're very close to self-destroying ourselves with artificial intelligence?
And whatever organization
I don't know.
broke into his home. What's
Trump's
up, Jamie?
uncle.
No, yeah, Trump's uncle got him.
Oh, that's right.
He went in there early because he was in
Some
Yale.
of them were missing when
and then he
turned
grabbed
back
them
in.
all before. And that gets into that little Baron Trump book and the last
Yeah.
president and all that stuff. That's like time travel stuff,
Yeah.
which I think is totally possible. I think time isn't this. I think time is this. And everything's going on at one time. And it's like a book. Like if you're reading a book, you can be on page 46, and 46, that's the reality of the time. But you can jump to page 320, and
Now we're getting into the weeds here, and I kind of like it.
now that's the reality of time. Then you can go back to page 18, and that's the reality of time. I think that's.
So do you think that we'll eventually be able to manipulate that, or we can?
I think
right
we already
now?
can.
Who's we though?
The masters of mankind,
Illuminati, man.
the masters of mankind, the 13 families.
It could be that they're just stoned.
The 13 families made deals with fallen
That was a very nervous laugh by Joe Rogan.
angels. That's my
Whoa.
power. That's the power structure of the world.
And what method are they using to travel back and forth through time?
Whatever technology they got. Didn't you just?
Now, are they traveling back and forth through time? Well, listen, if they have advanced tech, all right, that defies the laws of physics that we still can't understand, that we can't even give you an answer to. Maybe. Again, Sam Tripoli, he's smart. He called out the immigration riots 2 years before they happened. He gave a very eerie prediction. A lot of us in alternative media were saying, hey, there's going to be a lot of civil unrest here during Trump's years. It's pretty clear. Sam Tripoli hit the nail on the head here. What do you think about his kind of bigger extrapolations about this alien stuff? Do you think it's legit? Do you think it's not? What do you think? As I think this definitely deserves a bigger discussion. And I want to leave it up to you down in the comment section. How far? How much weirder does it get? Does the thesis that I described, that's pretty out there, make sense? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for investing in your health, buying some creatine, supporting yourself, and supporting this independent media broadcast. This is why I always say thank you, beautiful and amazing human beings, for subscribing and staying tuned here on youtube.com/wearechange.